Well, the race for the U.S. Senate seat left vacant when Senator Al Franken resigned is heating up. Senator Tina Smith, who was appointed to fill the vacancy by Governor Mark Dayton, was in Minneapolis yesterday as part of a roundtable discussion on the 25th anniversary of the Family Medical Leave Act. Smith will run to keep her seat in November, and so far, only one major Republican has entered the race. State Senator Karin Housley of St. Mary's Point announced her candidacy formally earlier this month, and State Senator Karin Housley joins us now. Thank you so much, Senator, for joining us.
Thank you so much for having me, Esme.
All right. Let me ask you about your support for President Trump. You have said before that you voted for President Trump, that you support his policies. If you had to give him a grade, what kind of grade would you give him?
I do support his policies. I think we have seen over the last year since his presidency that the policies that he's put in place are working. We have thousands of new jobs that are being created. The economy is doing better than it's ever done, with unemployment down and jobs are being created. I don't always approve of his style. Like, I didn't even know about I don't keep up with him on Twitter, so I didn't see the whole Jay-Z tweet this morning. But I think policy-wise, I would give him an A for policy. And as for everything else, I don't even want to give him a grade, because I'm not always approving of his style of the way he runs the office.
All right. Senator, let me ask you, because we want to get into issues regarding aging and elder abuse, which you have been very much front and center. AARP, which represents 37 million older Americans, has been very critical of President Trump's policies towards older Americans, saying that his tax plan, for instance, could put Social Security, Medicare, Medicaid at risk because of larger deficits. Your thoughts about that?
And I think it's important, too, that we do have somebody in Washington representing our elder community and being a voice for them, and that's what I've done in the Minnesota Senate. I created an Aging and Long-Term Care Committee when there had never been one before in the Minnesota Senate, focusing on just these issues, where we can unravel and find out what the issues are for the seniors here in Minnesota. And I think we do need somebody in Washington doing that exact same thing.
But do you support the president's policies when it comes to older Americans, or do you share some of the same concerns that AARP does?
I do share some of the concerns that AARP has. And I've met with AARP numerous times over the last few months to address some of those. And they've given me some of their solutions, including all of the other organizations, Elder Voices and our Long-Term Care Imperative. We need to have a collaborative effort to bring to Washington, D.C. to help our elder population here in Minnesota.
All right. Right now, Minnesota really is in the midst of a crisis. These revelations of elder abuse, thousands of complaints that were not investigated. You're holding additional Senate hearings later this week after a report from the governor comes out. What is your take on this entire situation?
Well, first, it's extremely disappointing that the Dayton administration has failed the elder population again, when there was a deadline of Friday when this report was supposed to be in, and it still wasn't in. And you know, we need to hold our government accountable, and so that report not being in was pretty disappointing. But we are holding hearings, and well,
it's the AARP's report, isn't it, though?
It's the AARP's report, but right, there's Governor Dayton, the oversight. Like, was he not checking in to see where they were on the report? You know, so I think it should be coming on Monday, is what I hear, and we will hold a hearing as soon as we get a hold of the report, and hopefully we'll see it on Monday. I'm asking to see it on Monday. But we are holding the hearings. We're having a hearing for just the family members, because the family members haven't been heard. So we're having a hearing the first Wednesday of session, where we're going to have the family members of abuse and maltreatment victims come and testify before us.
It looks like you are likely to be possibly the Republican nominee here, because nobody else has gotten into the race. If you are, and you are running against Tina Smith, will this election be a referendum on Governor Dayton's stewardship of the state? Well,
I think it should be. I think Governor Dayton and Tina Smith have failed the state in many ways. I mean, MNLARS is one example, $93 million Department of Public Safety tech system that has completely failed us. And also the Department of Health and the Office of Health Facility Complaints. There was no oversight. When government gets too big, they lose track of what's going on, and in this case, in the elder abuse, people are dying.
But let me ask you quickly, though, the economy, though, U.S. News and World Report named us the third best state in the country. 2017, the blistering pace of construction in the Twin Cities in recent years is one sign of a state economy firing on all cylinders. Don't they deserve credit for that?
There's still a lot of room for improvement. You know, you go up to the Iron Range, and those people are suffering up there. They need jobs up there, and they really need to. They really need to have their voices heard. And then again, our farmers. So, you know, it all depends on where you're getting the report from and how it's skewed. But there's a lot of room for improvement here in Minnesota.
Well, Senator Housley has graciously agreed to join us and continue this conversation on Facebook Live on the WCCO Facebook page at 11 a.m. immediately after the end of the show. The easiest way for you to join the conversation is to like WCCO TV on Facebook. Then you can join us live at 11 a.m.